We're back. And we kind of ended where the parent expectations was, so I'm just going to go over those one more time. It is to be respectful of the club coach and players. It's to demonstrate good sportsmanship at practice and tournaments, not only to Club One families and players, but to other teams, coaches, and officials as well. To support the development of each player. And then we do have a bad-mouthing and slanderous remarks section about if it was to happen to our teams, our coaches, or our organization, that it will result in immediate termination with no refund. So we'll be totally honest, we have really good families at Club One, but it is important just to remember that we're trying to set a great example for our athletes as well. So we have a proper chain of command, which is kid coach, parent, kid coach, parent, director. And really, anytime people have followed that the right way, we've been really successful in helping make the situation better. So that can be found in the handbook too. So a couple other things that I have before I turn it over to Bridget is mid-season evaluations. We basically evaluate our athletes mid-season, which is the end of November, beginning of December. And what we do is we just have a standard form that evaluates all the skills and talks about things an athlete needs to work on and then things that they're doing great. At that time, your coach will email out to you. They will ask you if you're interested in coming in. It's about a 5 to 10 minute conference, much like school, and you can all sit down together. If you opt not to come in, the meeting's had between the coach and your son. So that form does go home, and you could ask to see that as well. We just think great communication between an athlete and a coach just helps development. So that's our mid-season evals. And I did mention to you guys about Spiritwear, and Spiritwear forms will go out. You can order stuff for your families. You don't have to order anything. You can get the ball on the Spiritwear form. But additionally, we have a returning player package and a new player package. And if your son is a returner and needs some items maybe from last year, a new pair of shorts, some new socks, a new bag, you can purchase it through that as well. So that'll be on the Spiritwear form. We ask that you frequently check out our website, which is www.club1volleyball.com. We do put our rosters, tournament schedules, team successes, things like that on there. We would also put any major cancellations you would need to know of. We also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page that we post a ton of information on too, so we ask that you follow us there as well. And then the last thing that I think I have before I hand it over is just a reminder that we have parking at Club One in the front of the building and on the side where the garages are. And then we have parking on Coil Plus Drive, which is the street that runs behind. And then we have parking in the Public Works building. All that we ask is you don't continue down into those buildings that are next to us where they have the CrossFit and the violin music store that's in there, because those spots are reserved for them. So just remember, you can always park in one of those spots. We just can't continue on down. So now I'm going to hand it over to Bridget, and she's going to talk financials.
Okay, so I'm going to just touch on the financials and how it all works. I'm going to touch on our fundraiser that we offer to help offset costs for our families, and then just kind of wrap it up with the procedures and process of our open house that will be on Wednesday, September 7th.
Yes.
So the fees this year for our boys youth program, or 14U, is $1,000. The fees for the high school 15s through 18s is $1,575, and that includes the trip to Indy. As Bree mentioned, it doesn't include the California trip or the trip to Columbus that you would find out at a later date. Those fees do not include the uniform. So let me briefly touch on the uniform, and then I'll explain how the payment plans work. The uniform for a new player cost is $325. In that package, you'll get 2 jerseys, you'll get shorts, you'll get your full warm-ups, which is your top and your bottom, you'll get your shoes, you'll get a bag, and 3 pairs of socks. The new or the returners package is $160, and with that you're going to get 2 jerseys and the warm-ups. And do you want to explain?
Yeah, so we talked about, we want to be, Bridget and I are always looking at ways to help our families save money, and so what we're trying to do is be able to use the package again the following year. The issue that we have this year was Nike recycles jerseys and warm-ups and such every 2 to 3 years. And we got our package last year, and that was then recycled this year. So that's why we have to get the new jerseys and the new warm-up top and bottom so that everybody looks the same. But we hope to be able to then keep that part of the package again for the next couple years so we don't have to continue to purchase the same things over and over.
So with the uniform package, you will be able to try on the samples at the open house on Wednesday.
So we asked the boys to come with,
Yep,
because
so
then they can try it on so you can order it and know exactly what they need.
Absolutely. And when they come in, you'll get information on where you're going to go to order the uniform. It's ordered directly through Nike. You pay Nike directly and they ship it to your home. So while we offer payment plans with the tuition and travel fees, we do not offer payment plans or with the uniform because it's not done through us, it's done through them. So just to keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that they do put a deadline on when the uniform needs to be ordered, and this is very important because in order to get all of the uniforms that we need to get in time for tournament play, we have to get it in as soon as possible. So please be aware and respectful of that due date. It's very difficult, if we even can, to reopen the order in order to get it. So please, and we will remind you at the checkout to do that, but that is something that's very, very important. As Bree mentioned earlier, if you're a returner and you need new shoes, you want more socks, you need shorts, you can always order that on Spirit Wear. Really, to be honest, even if you're a returner, if your son needs everything, you could order a new player package. It doesn't differentiate between the two,
right?
But you can do it a la carte. But if they need everything, it may be more cost effective to get it.
So just order
the whole thing. It's just we want to offer what it is that you need, but please know that if you need everything, you're better off getting the full player package. So that's the uniform. Mm-hmm. The actual fees, the way that we will handle that is at the open house. What is required the night of the open house is a 25% deposit. So you would have to be responsible for 25% at the open house. We do offer up to 4 payments. So 25% due at open house, and then the final 3 payments would be October 1, November 1, and December 1. There's 2 ways to make your payments. All registrations need to be done through Sport Engine. You all use Sport Engine when you registered for the tryout. You will go to the link provided in the step-by-step registration, which I'll talk about in just a few minutes. You will select the program that your son is in, age division-wise, and then you'll select if you want to pay in full or select any of the payment plans. You can also select to pay by credit card or by check. So if you are paying by check and if you are paying in installments, what would be required is post-dated checks for October, November, December, and then the deposit, and will be attached to your file. On those due dates, the checks will be deposited and applied to your account. If you choose to do the credit cards, the credit card will store in the system, and on those due dates, it will automatically run. Now, with installment payments, there is an administrative fee. So with each installment minus the deposit, a $30 fee would be charged. So for example, if you're a 14U and you have a $1,000 balance, you would pay $250 for the first payment, and then your next 3 payments would be $280. That would be the administrative fee. To add more to this, not to confuse you, because it took me a while to understand it myself, but if you use a credit card in the system, as you found when you did the tryout, Sport Engine does charge a processing fee, and that processing fee is 2.9% of that particular installment. That is their fee. So you would have that tacked on to the $280. So if you pay by check, the 2.9% fee does not apply, but if you were to pay by the credit card, it does. When you go to check out, all of it is broken down for you before you actually check out and select your options. So if anybody has specific questions on that, they could always ask me at the open house on Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay. Fundraiser. Now that you know how much you're going to spend, people always ask us how they can offset their costs. And we have, for the past, I don't know how many years, a lot of years, been doing our annual fundraiser. And the fundraiser has proven to be very helpful to our families, which is why we continue to do it. With the fundraiser, each family is required to sell 10 tickets at $10 a piece, or $100 of raffle tickets. They are monetary prizes. So first prize is $10,000. I think it was $2,000 and $1,000 were the second and third prize. The first $100 goes to the club. Then after that, everything sold 100% goes back to the family. So for example, if a family sells 50 tickets, the first 10 or $100 goes to the club, and 40 tickets or $400 is refunded to the family. Now the drawing for this is usually the Sunday before Christmas, then the holiday comes, and then we have to do all of the filing for the proper paperwork, being that it's a raffle and a fundraiser. So typically those refund checks will be sent out at the end of January. So while you may know that you've sold $400 worth of tickets, you cannot apply it to your payments because it's a separate entity altogether. But I will send out at the end of January all refund checks, so you will in fact get that money back. It has proved to be very, very helpful, and we will pass those tickets out, or raffle tickets out, the first week of practice, so you have lots of months to sell them. The boys get a little bit of a jump start and have the most time to sell those. So if you are interested to do it, $10 to win 10,000. It's not a tough sell. That is the way to go. One thing I do want to mention about checks: if you do make a check payment and for whatever reason your check is returned, there is a $29 return check fee that we incur through our bank. So you would have to reissue a check with that fee included. So to wrap it up, what has happened now is you have gone to our webpage, you have seen the step-by-step registration, and this is the first step, is to view the videos so that you kind of know what it is to be expected. Please go through each of those steps. The handbook will be in there as one of the steps, so if you want to read through, it's basically what we covered. There's more details. There's a packet of forms that need to be filled out and returned by the first day. We ask that you bring them to the open house, which I'll tell you the times and the day. But if you can, if you can't for whatever reason, we do need those by the first day. It'll have the link for the USAV registration. It will have any steps that you need to follow. So please, please make sure to follow all of those. The open house will be anytime from 5 to 7:30 on Wednesday, September 7th. So you'll want to bring in your completed paperwork, your deposit. If you do process everything online on that checklist sheet, which you'll see, you can just write online, and then we'll get you in and out. The boys will try on their uniform, so it's important that you bring your sons. If they can't make it for whatever reason, we will make other arrangements for samples to be tried on. But again, keeping in mind that we do not have a lot of time to do it, so if at all possible, please bring them into that meeting that night. Again, it's from 5 to 7:30. You don't have to stay the whole time. Once you get checked out, you're free to go.
Yep.
We look forward to a great season.
Yeah.
We look forward to meeting all our new families and welcoming back all our old families.
Yeah, it comes fast.
It comes fast.
Welcome back, or welcome to the Club One family, and we know we're going to have a great season, and we look forward to getting started.
We'll see you Wednesday.